buscando qué hacer por la noche. Entonces entrarse en mi cuarto pa' ver. Levántate mi amor, hoy vamos a beber. Ponte algo sexy, bebé. Tírate un selfie, bebé. Yeah, hey. Ponte algo sexy, mi amor. Tírate un selfie, mi amor. Hey, dale. Tírate un selfie que te ve bien cabrón. Brindamos todas las copas que se trabajo. Tírate un selfie que te ve 1,000,000. No hay trabajo en la mañana, un bendición. Baby, put your favorite dress on. And maybe we can skip and go right to the sequel. Brenda Philly Blunt, take a hit for the people.
Just love that morning cowbell. Nothing like a little morning cowbell to get your morning set off right. Get your mindset right to make some money in this Bitcoin game. Get that Casper cowbell out there and ring that little sucker like there's no tomorrow. No trabajo. No más trabajo. Solamente trade. Solamente Bitcoin en cripto. Trabajo no más.
No hay trabajo en la mañana, que se el trabajo.
What?
Huepa, mamacita, huepa. Huepa, mamacita, huepa. Huepa, mamacita, huepa. Huepa, mamacita, huepa.
I don't think I can do a Jamaican accent, Mama. I think it's more Dominican than Jamaican. And that's the truth. We keep it 100 around here. That's more from Guyana. Perhaps he must be loved. Is it time? Is it 10 o'clock? We got one more minute left. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm cheating. I'm looking at the market. What's hot? What's a poppin'? All these crazy coins. These crazy meme coins. What has happened to our crypto space? Check, check, 1, 2. Mic check. Matthew, you're next. Marco, you're third. Mr. Mouse says, also enjoyed my coffee, but it's 7 a.m. for me. 3-hour time difference. Not too bad, not too bad. That's way early for me, Mr. Miles, way early. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where I am, and it's time to hit it. Somebody forgot to turn the lights on. I've got too many road dogs on my screen. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Is it time? Is it time?
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to the breakfast edition of Road Dog Crypto. My name is Lane. I am your Road Dog, full-time trader in this market for about the last 4 or 5 years, just trying to help guide some people on what not to do and maybe what to avoid, and just some guidelines of what's worked for me and what has not worked for me. All this courtesy, well, yeah, all this for free. Nothing to sell, nothing to shill, other than maybe a Tangem wallet or something. You might see that ad fly up there. Code DOG will give you 10% off of your Tangem purchase. Just throwing that out there. Look, they got it in pretty colors now. And that's pretty much all the shill you get from me for the rest of the stream. Here we go. So let's take a look at Bitcoin first because, well, that's the big dog and she's doing something right now. And I'm on the 15-minute time frame. Normally zooming out a little bit bigger, but we're looking at what's actually going on here. And we've broken out this fallen channel, and that's pretty cool. Good upside and potential here. And we also have a measure move we can take to this. Give us an idea of an area that we could actually get up to. I'm going to put it like we're supposed to, right at the little breakout point, and mark this little sucker. And of course, we're going to mark this one as a measure move because we follow all this stuff. I check these measure moves, see how that they rate, how that they turn out. Sometimes I like to even take this measure move and I'll put it down to where the retest is. And now I like this about this pattern. This is one of the biggest things why I got on this morning to share this idea with you, is that Bitcoin broke out of this channel, came back, and we retested it like it should do about 64% of the time. And then now we can move on upward. Now, if I put this measure move at the actual retest right here, and sometimes I think that's helpful, I am playing with this idea to see how she tests out pretty well too. Get us a little secondary target here, or an earlier target. Right here, 67,178. However, our standard measure move was 67,359. I got those two targets met, or positioned right there. But can we go higher? And I'm going to say we got a great chance. And we're just going to come out now. This is when I'm going to zoom out after we went over the little short-term things of what I'm looking for. We'll let the 1 minute guys figure out if it's going to go up and down and if they're going to jump in long and shorts. The bigger time frames are saying, man, that's a mixed bag. Of course, the daily has been kind of red, but the 4 hour has given us a green light a couple of candles ago, suggesting that, yeah, baby, we can be going up. Now, remember, I showed you this little falling channel, but when you zoom out like the 4 hour and look what's going on here, we're actually making higher highs, higher lows. Really good. We're in a upward channel. Now, these are normally bearish and break to the downside. That's why it was so awesome that we held this trend line right here and we're getting a green candle bouncing up the upside. That means, hey, baby, we're probably not going to fall through here. We'll probably wait till we get at least one more hump, because I look for 3 humps and then a dump, and it looks like we might get our extra little hump. In essence, this means, and I will be making a Bitcoin prediction here. I don't know. It seems to be fun to do. But it looks like that we are on track to come back up to 69,000 and retest that area, about 69,300, with a possibility. This is me getting woo-woo, because sometimes I do the woo-woo, like I did do back here. And we got to talk about this so that you know what the woo-woo means. Every now and then I will put out a price prediction. Back over here, I put this out about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks before July 5th. Nailing it, the reversal. Is that something I can do every time? No, I can't claim that, but there's certain techniques I use that give me an indication of when things may happen in the market. I believe, not as ballsy a conviction that I had on this one to leave it up there and throw my cojones out there, while Bitcoin just continued to tank down to 50, looking like a fool, but then she reversed on that same day. I'm going to step out there with this little guy here. Possible reversal on August 4th. I don't know. I'm not as convicted on this, but we're throwing it out there. I'll put the words possible. But it suggests to me that maybe we might hit this target up here around 74,300, something like that, by on or around. It says August 4th. I'm running with the 4th as best that I've got there. Let's see. Like I said, I don't have quite the conviction, but I got conviction that something around that time frame will get hit there. Let's see if it happens or not. If Road Dogg looks like a stupid idiot, because there's still some chances that we could come down to 62.6, but right now I'm just not seeing it. Right now, a 4-hour time frame, if we look at it on Bitcoin, is saying, I see some more upside coming. Mostly what we talked about when we first chimed on here, about 67,200, 300-ish in those nice little areas. For today, ladies and gentlemen, as we fight our way back up here to this 21 moving average, we're just reclaimed our 9 moving average, and it is doing a U-turn, and that's a very positive sign. That's what I got for Bitcoin. I think it's going to be a nice day. We'll take one more last look at these little small time frames, and this is what I got. It's 15 minutes. You're getting rejected off the 15 or the 200 moving average. That could propel us back down to these areas. So let's go ahead and put this onto the radar, because she might come down before she comes up and breaks up there, okay? And that would take us right down to this area, about 66.2, 66.300. It'd be the area that I'm looking to retest there. So we'll just spell out that. That's what I'm looking for today. That is my trading plan. We'll just mark this little guy green here for a nice little... That didn't happen. We'll mark this guy green here. Mark you green. Oh, we're going to mark you green. Yes, we are. Well, let's mark it. So we might come down to 66.2, possible. I'm going to put this as orange, just as a cautionary event. But I'm actually looking for 67, 177, being a good little take profit target, but mostly 67, 359. Now we can move over to our altcoins and start looking at them. So that's what's on with Bitcoin. Remember, we can come down and go up, or we could just blast on through. But what's our altcoins doing? Because that's where most of us have most of our money. In altcoins, hoping that they will do better than outperform Bitcoin, which sadly they have not been doing very well. Very few of them have. Mr. Miles is very familiar with one of them that has. He's a Caspa Maxi that I allowed to stay here. No, I'm just kidding. Glad to have you here, Mr. Miles. And glad to talk about Caspa and somebody has conviction on something that they're in. I like that. So look at here, the 632,100 crypto total market cap. Also respecting the trend line. Could we also get our 3 humps on the dump? This being our second hump. We got one more big old hump. Come on. Can't even talk this morning. I think we're headed back. It looks like we might be headed back to $650-ish billion. Hopefully. Meaning that over the next several days, maybe we'll see a little bit of bump up on our altcoins. We're seeing it on some of them. And let's get down to it, Mr. Miles. I know you couldn't wait. But we're going to take a look at Caspa. To the dollar, where it has finally reached these targets. It has made its all-time high now. 20 cents. 20.5 cents was the target that I had on here. Where are you labeled? Right here. And we nailed it. Wick below, came back down, and then we decided to go above it. And we still can't get past it yet, meaning that this is a very relative area, at 20.5 cents. So it's got to build up some strength to get past that. Now, will it do that at the moment? Let's take a little look here. Let's use a few little techniques to see if maybe we're possibly at a toppy top for this leg. For these little guys, I like to pull out my little fib extensions here and use a few little tricky. That's not it. That was just a regular fib. You rigged me out, man. Just tricked me. How dare you? And we are at a toppy top area, but we're also, looks like we're getting above that first one right there. That is cool. Now, beautiful. Well, I just revealed all my targets right there and how I got them from, no. These targets have been there for a while. It just gives me confidence for that area. I'm sticking with these targets, man. I am not budging from the targets that I've got here at 22.2 cents and 23.2 cents. I am seeing those as being our next major targets once we can get past 20.5 cents. So it's a slow move for Caspa, and she is likely. We are at the 1618 Fibonacci. This sounds a lot of gibberish to you guys. I apologize. Stick around. It will make more sense. Hang around in the free Telegram group. Ask questions on stream, whatever. Anything that I say that doesn't make sense to you, ask questions. I explain it. That's how it works on this channel. I don't charge $99 a month or $99 an hour or anything like that. I make my living by trading. That supports my YouTube channel, as well as the support from you guys with your likes, subscribes, super chats, and, you know, buying Tangem wallets, signing up for CoinEx or MexC or whatever I've got. All these little things are supposed to help. Honestly, I mean, it's not, I don't see how people get rich doing YouTube. I got to say, I've made probably about $600 in the last year. But anyway, it helps offset some of the things that are cost, such as the $500 a year TradingView account, all the little expenses. I'm not complaining. I'm happy, but I'd make enough trading. I don't depend on YouTube to make my living. I don't depend on shilling out memberships to make my living. I make my living doing what I do, and I'm sharing it with you. Share it with you every night, and trying to share it with you in these mornings when I can actually get out of bed. Because I don't have to roll out of bed to go to work for the man anymore. I haven't done that in 4 or 5 years, and it's a lifestyle that you can do too if you just apply some of these techniques and try to avoid some of the grifters out there trying to suck you in and get your money to make their lifestyle a lot better, while they can't show how they're making their money go up. Our goal is to show you how to make money go up here. Don't know if I'll have time to go over my actual accounts and open trades. Although they're starting to look good, they're looking nice, and making the gains. And I do show my full profit and loss unlike the other guys, or some of the other guys. All right, so now that I'm through spilling there, and we're looking at Caspa, where she's finding some resistance. There's a 1.618 Fibonacci area. It's normal for her to find resistance here. She could get a little bit of a pullback. She may not. If she does, we want to know where that pullback might be. And the first place I'm going to suggest is down here, which is not cool. I'm going to have to lower it down here. I'm actually going to have to come down to 18.5 cents. I don't see this happening anytime soon, but the thing is, once this trend line breaks, and she's not ready to do it just yet, anytime soon. Once that breaks, I would be looking for 18.5 cents, okay? Let's keep an eye on Caspa against the dollar, because she's going another trend line, okay? Do you see this? This is how I play the game. I'm not trying to guess whether my price is too far away from a certain moving average or anything like that. The best way that I've seen to make sure that you're getting out of the game at the right time is a simple trend line. We established this trend line, and now we got a deviation from that, and this is the secret. This is the secret. This might be what the information you need to change your life. It changed my life. Nobody else talked about it, so. Our price is too far away from the 21 moving average. Well, it's pretty far right now. Does that mean you get out? No. No, it does not. That means you sell yourself short. What it means is that you keep tracking these trend lines as they deviate, because this one's getting ready to go parabolic. Parabolico coming for Caspa possible is what the trend lines are saying. Now that we've kind of deviated all these, here's the important one to tell you when to get the freak out on the 15-minute. This one right here, man. You ain't looking if it's too far away from a 21 moving average or anything like that, which it happens to be, right? You're looking if it respects this trend line. When it breaks off of this trend line right here, I'm going to color her red. That is your indication, man, that I need to at least pay myself, because things could get a little hairy. Prices, something's going to happen. Normally, we would dump. In a bullish scenario, we might go sideways and might even go up a little bit before we come down. Keep those in mind. So that will give you selling here, and selling at any retest of that line is a good places to take profit on this. And if you want to take it a step further, you're using time frames to help you narrow this down. I'm on the 15-minute. What if this is deviating from that? What if there's another little line? And there was. And let me show you how that worked. This trend line right here. That would have told you right up here, man, I need to pay myself. Now you can pull the things, oh, we're getting far, we're getting close to a target, and I can pay myself with these big candles as they come up. But this trend line right here that's going to tell you when you definitely need to make sure that you're paying yourself. And you don't have to subjectively look, oh, price is just up, oh, it's a red candle, I'm going to get out of my trade. No, you got a trend line that gives you more solid information. If I can impart any information that will change your life and what you're being taught on these morning gurus, this will give you the upper edge. The simple trend line strategy telling you when to get in and get out. You just use it on the time frames that are most fitting and according to your strategy, what makes you money. So blah, blah, blah. I'm here on the 1 minute chart on Caspa, just watching it do beautiful. I've got 5 moving averages up here. I've got a 200, I've got a 100, I got a 50, I've got a 21, and I've got a 9. And what they are telling me right now is that Caspa looks beautiful with the momentum going up and to the right. It's only that it's doing a correction. Now, when I'm looking at these moving strategies, regardless of what time frame that I'm on, I'm always looking for the same thing. I'm looking for price to get above that 9 moving average and right above it. If there's going to be a correction, I'm looking for it to come down to the 21 for a shallow correction and bounce. It does that a lot. You can see examples of it bouncing here. You can see examples of it bouncing off the 21 here, off at 21 here. When you're in a strong trend and lose the 9 moving average, you're usually bouncing off the 21 moving average. You hear some other supposedly gurus talk about the 21 moving average a lot, and it does have its place, but there's a few other moving averages that will give you an edge, the 9 moving average being above that. And just using all 5 of these moving averages as one tool instead of using them separately, oh, that's where the juicy secret comes in. Well, they just don't really realize just yet. They'll figure it out over a year or two and think that they are the bee's knees, as they do with every little technique that they finally figure out. And that's fun to watch and everything. I'm just watching them play their big boy britches and start putting more money than they're comfortable dealing with. I think that's going to be fun to watch. Oh man, that's going to be crazy. I would not ever do that. I see them, they're having difficulty making those first moves too with that. It's going to be interesting. But anyway, a bigger pullback comes down to the 50 moving average and then bounces up, okay? If we start losing the 50, that's a sign that, oh, well, maybe this trend line will break. No, why not? So for a steeper correction, we want to see it bounce off this 50 moving average. We're not doing that at the moment, but we still got time to reclaim it. I will say this, when I'm using my 5 moving average strategy, where these things cross, not so much when they get tight, I got to see what they're doing when they get tight. Getting tight doesn't tell me anything. What they do when they get tight, and if they start crossing each other, that tells me what's going to happen. That's what separates me from some of these other guys. So 9 is getting ready to cross over the 50. That could drop us down. We'd be losing this trend line. That would not be good. If that happens, man, we'll be coming back down, probably testing about 20 cent area. This little area down here where it was will support again. It will probably be retested for support. 200 moving average coming in there. I'm all doing all this on the freaking 1 minute. All right. Right now, I got to tell you, she's got a good chance to bounce off this 50 like we were talking about. Or not. She can't make up her mind yet. But as long as we don't break the trend line, don't break this horizontal line, don't see this cross just kill us. That cross could be the first sign that, ooh, not good and good. She's in danger of doing it. Doesn't mean she's going to. She could pull a miracle right here and just go right on up to 22 cents. Let's get off the 1 minute Caspa. We'll take a look at Caspa really quick against Bitcoin, because you should be looking at all your coins against Bitcoin to see if it's worth being in at all. I'm just telling you for real. Because Bitcoin is outperforming, well, most of the altcoins like it normally does. We get into altcoins thinking we can make more Bitcoin, and that's the old G play. Caspa's doing very well against Bitcoin. I'm on the 1 hour time frame here. We got our major trend line. This is our major line that we're looking at. She's starting to deviate right here. See that? That's the first signs of going parabolic against Bitcoin. See, we had candles that touched here. Candle bodies. Oh, just wicks here. Candle bodies didn't quite make it. We got a deviation. And this is where I have an order of operations on my trend lines, and this helps me do something. Nobody else teaches this. I think this is just something that I do. It doesn't make me a genius. I'm sure somebody else is doing this, but it's just not a popular thing to show. But it helps me see when things are going parabolic or getting a start. See this deviation? Well, this is the first start of this, where you bring out this little tool that makes a little bit of a curve. So that, and it kind of signifies that there can be a nice little parabolic move, meaning it follows this curve right on up. So a strong move for Caspa, and I've got 337 Satoshis as a target for the Caspa BTC play. Woo, baby! Could that happen? I think it definitely could happen. Things are looking good on Caspa on the 1 hour on BTC. Let's look at it on 4 hour chart, because a little bit bigger time frame, a little bit more positivity coming out here for what she could do. Looking at her indicators, they are topped out with stochastics up at the top, curving down a little bit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Those suckers can stay up there forever. At this point, stochastics don't matter until they start coming to the down for good. We don't yet have a red dot or a green dot or anything. We had a green dot here on the money play wave. We're still doing good. She is kind of topped out, a little bit overbought. She's kind of up there, baby. The indicators are getting hot on Caspa, okay? So let's throw that idea out there. She's looking a little hot with indicators. but I think she can still get a little hotter. Biggest thing that I want to point out with VMC, Market Cipher, however you want to describe this green section right here and this green section right down here, they're the same thing, just easier to see it down here. When the money flow flips green, game on. Game on. That means your bullish plays are going to work out more in your favor. And that means that your shorts and your bearish plays are probably not going to work out very good at all. That's what that means. It means that this is strong. Money flow in the green. It's time for numbers to start going up and start working on it. Doesn't mean we're going to go to the moon right now, but it means that, well, we got our rockets fired up and we're starting to make some progress. That's what that means. So when money flow goes in the green, that's a good sign on this indicator. And that's one of the most important ones on that indicator. Another indicator that's telling me, baby, that Caspa is ready to rock and roll and do something here, especially on the BTC pair, meaning that it's going to put Bitcoin to shame possibly. I know you like that, Mr. Miles. I can tell. That just made you smile right there. The Ichimoku cloud, this little sliver of green, 26 candles ahead of price action. Price is nowhere near touching this little guy. This is, hey man, I am ready to go to the races. Rev my engine up. Start flag is, that checkered flag is getting ready to come down and I'm going to take advantage of it. That's what that is saying, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's what that is saying. Do we have something special for that? Can we do something special for that? I know I got something old here that would work perfectly for that. I think so. Oh yes, the checkered flag for Caspa, because it is almost Lambo hour for Caspa. Here we go. Ooh, booyah, Caspa. Looking hot, looking nice. Let's check out everybody's hanging out with me in the chat. This is going to be a short stream. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Okay. I'm going to give myself about 15 more minutes. So we got Mr. Miles hanging out. Rasta Dog Crypto. Mr. Miles says Caspa is nearing 21 cents. And Mr. Miles says my avatar tells you what time it is. Looks like it's just you and me at this hour until Brackets Adventures came up. Welcome to Streaming Brackish. If you had 500 ETH in spot March, 500 ETH? Or $500 in ETH. 500 ETH is a lot. What would you do with it? Borrow and buy more when it drops? Hell yes, exactly. Especially if it's 500 ETH and not $500 in ETH. Either way is good, but 500 ETH, that's pretty dang impressive. Hey, I can like these things. Cool, I like that. I can heart it. I like that. Thank you, Mr. Brackets Adventures, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. How much money should someone have if they want to make a living trading, Mr. Miles said? As much as humanly possible, for dang sure. That's a hard question to answer. How much? You want enough to cover you for at least a year in expenses. So I would say at least that. But you need to be confident in your skills if you're going to be there, right? You don't just be in the lucky part of the market and, quit your job or not have that income. Make enough that, oh, well, I get enough to support me for another year. Yay, we won, but you got a 4-year cycle. So the goal is for us to make enough that we can live off of it for 4 years and hopefully more, and live off of it very comfortably. So these things may not be coming for some of you guys in the next month or two. It could, it very well could. But this cycle might be the most important cycle for you guys. I do recommend that you go heavier into Bitcoin, go heavier into Ethereum, because those are going to be two of the biggest ones that the big guys on Wall Street are going to be playing with and driving the prices up. The world will be going to them first. Caspa looks like it is making a name for itself. I definitely have that. Solana, I'm up in the air. It could not. I don't really trust it for what it is. I just got my reasons that I research and kind of notice and what talks to me. So I've got Solana. It isn't one of my bigger bags, but it's not, it's not one of my major play. I'm not sold on it like, say, James from Invest Answers is. But he's got some good alpha for that too. But getting some solid plays and then those riskier plays that will jump up there. At some point, the altcoins can do their 20-30x. We usually see the altcoins come into play the last part of the season, so we still got about another year for that. Let's take a look at Ethereum here, and let's ponder that idea. So I've had some Ethereum and I've traded mine and traded it off for altcoins, but I did have a much bigger bag of Ethereum and it's dwindled down into a bunch of altcoin positions, right? And I'm like, I want to take what the little Ethereum that I have left, I want to do something with it. So I put it on spot margin. And that lets me grow that bag. I think they got on CoinEx, they got 10x. So I have to be careful with that and not go too crazy. So basically, I mean, my game with what I'm doing with Ethereum, it's on that one. It's basically, you know, I'm charting and trying to find good places to enter. But other than that, it's just a DCA. And I might be doing, you know, I could borrow up to, let's see, just for instance, on what I've got over there. I don't have very much Ethereum over there. But I know that I can borrow up to $27,000 to buy more Ethereum, but I'm not doing that. But I am taking anywhere from $100 to $300 a day and just kind of adding to my bag, especially when we're below $3,500. As long as we're below this trend line, and I see this one going up, and it made an equal. It came down here. It didn't make a lower low. It came down here and made the same low, so we double bottom basically, and I think it is kind of more like a W pattern, if you want to call it. It's more of a local bottom, but it did do that, so that's the reason I'm just nibbling in here, and that's actually what I'm doing. The best positions to get in on the Ethereum were way back here, and I didn't have that position there, but what I can do is DCA, and that is what I'm doing. And if you look at the patterns that we got, you got this big old channel or possibly falling wedge pattern. It's not really a falling wedge. We've got one of those funky descending triangle patterns possibly playing out, but it can break it and go to the upside. And I'm anticipating $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 out of Ethereum at some point. So my best play right now is that, yeah, I'm just adding to it a little every day, because it's got me enough room that I can do that comfortably. And as long as I build that position up, and then when the number goes up, I'm going to be good. So yeah, I'm not letting ETH slip by me, especially with all the ETF stuff. So I mean, we're going to see the same thing happen. Graysale's going to sell out. You might even wonder, I mean, I wonder if it's BlackRock that owns those Grayscale shares and they're just selling out. BlackRock said, I got to get in on crypto, and they went in through Grayscale, and now they're wanting to sell out and put it in their own. I don't know how that stuff works. I just know Grayscale sells out when the ETF news comes up, and then BlackRock keeps buying it and other ETFs keep buying it, and they stack it up. And that's going to keep happening, especially for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe one day, Mr. Isles, they'll get the Caspa ETF. That might be interesting, or it might just destroy everything. I don't know. But that's my thoughts on the Ethereum. Let's look at a few coins that are starting to move today. TRB is starting to do a little something. She had a nice little move. So if we zoom out on this one, because that's an important thing, man, zoom out and see what the big picture is. And it looks kind of weird. Still looking for 106 to come out of TRB. It's nice that she held this trend line, respecting this trend line. Double bottom on it here, double bottom on it here. Last time she double bottom, she went way the heck up to about 149. Could we get something just as good as better? Could we be reaching this 174? I'm going to throw it out there that, yeah, we might be looking at a situation like that. How cool would that be? I'm not even in this one, but I see the possibilities here. Double bottom and then up. Could we do a double bottom, then up again and get that 174 target? Hell yeah, we could. We could go to 106. We could respect this trend line here, and where price reaches in, that's about 120. Those are three great little targets right there for TRB. As we're coming off of here, we're getting a bounce off the bottom of this. We're on the daily. Come to the 4 hour and see what the 4 hour says. 4 hour has got us above the 200 moving average. We haven't really closed a candle above it, so not totally confirmed, but that's a great first sign. Other moving averages are going to have to catch up with this. This is a great sign of a double bottom happening here, this little guy right here. And there's a measure move that would take us up right around this area, about 98, but I'm still looking at 106. So TRB looks like she's on the move. You can even say, if you're looking for the breakout, she's got one, a nice little strong breakout there. With some volume behind it, some other good signs on the indicator saying, baby, we're ready to rock and roll. If you're trying to get into TRB, well, I would come down to a smaller time frame like the 15-minute, and I would look for a little bit of a pullback. She's likely to get rejected here and come back, and I would look maybe about $74, $75. If that does not happen, if you see her breaking above that red trend line, well, then you just got to buy higher. Unfortunately, that's how the game is played. But a pullback, I would be looking about 75. That's reasonable if we don't get bullish enough to just boom. What happened? If price doesn't do something like this and she starts rolling over, then 75. If she does something like this, well, then buying that retest, buying around $82 and riding her on up to, geez, them bigger, higher targets would be in play for TRB 106. Dave P, good morning, my friend. How's it going? And there's Strega. Cheers took off and he missed it. Cheers. I don't even think I'm familiar with this from Cheers Land. Looks like is what it is, right? MexC. I don't know if I got the right one. Strega, have you been really bottom feeding? That's the only way I could see that you'd say this one took off, and you had to nail that bottom, which is quite impressive when you can nail those bottoms. It's above the non-moving average. That's cool. I'm on what, the 15 minute? So it looks like heading towards 7.2. She can come back and retest that non-moving average though at 0.007 if this is the right one. 15 minute. Oh, look at this. You got the 50 across. This is small time frame. 15 minute time frame. 50 across the 200, giving you the buy signal, which I say buy the next pullback, which would have been this one, because I've been burned too many times just chasing that signal blindly, because price will pull back a lot of times. And then it comes over and now it's giving us the death cross. You want to bet that it pumps up that 200 moving average? I think it will. I think it's got a good shot just to pump up there and then reverse or get shot down. Looks like she's going to go bumpy a little bit for a little while. She tries to figure out what's going on. That's just my take on it. I don't even know if I got the right one, but I found that interesting what it's doing there in smaller time frame. So a little chop, but it looks like she's trying to get a bottom in, so that's cool. ICP not looking too different. We can draw a trend line and see that we got a little bit of a breakout of that, so that's cool. Reclaiming the 200 moving average here on the 15 minute above the 9. ICP looks like she's ready to do something right now. Let's go, girl. I'm going to go from this wick to those candle bodies and draw me a trend line. Line in the sand tells me she breaks that line, well, things need to change and probably need to pay myself and chill out. There's a big wick, big old wick right up here on the top candle there, and sometimes that can spell out a reversal and then sometimes it doesn't. With the 9 crossing the 21 on this 15 or 9 moving average crossing the 200 moving average on this small time frame, it looks good on the small time frame. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit because that's always best. 1 hour suggests that we might be working our way back up here to about 950, but I do have this great little target sitting near the one I would be holding out for. $9.99. $9.92. Which from this area could be a nice little 9% gain. 3x leverage will get you about 27%, which is not bad at all. Check out, see if you guys got anything. Oh, and this. No on base, says Strega. I don't know. Is that a coin or is that like base? Now you got me curious. I gotta see if there's a no. It looks like there is a no on base. Do not buy. 21 days ago. There's also a melon. So I don't know if he's asking for one or if there's just something, just a coincidence if there is one. Oh, she looks hockey. This one doesn't look as... I'm not convinced on this one. This one says do not buy, and I would say, yeah, that's probably looking about right here today. I think it's time that we do a little altcoin news because I forgot to do it last night and see what's been going on with our altcoins. Then I'm going to wrap up this show. Let those morning puppies get out there and see if they're brave enough to take a trade or not today on the 1 minute. Well, I'm just kind of letting my trades rise, man. I take the slow thing and I make more money, it seems like. At least works for me better that way. You forgot what you were trying to do, Road Dog. I just can't find the right buttons for some reason. We're going to come over here and check out the news for our altcoins and see what might be going on here. And gosh darn it, why are you not working? There we go. So what has happened in crypto the last 12 hours, be the last 24 hours for us. So Ethereum might experience its first net inflow today, or its first net inflow day as Grayscale Ethereum E outflows have halved since yesterday. Multiverse X plans to release Exchange version 3. Public testing will occur from August 5th to August 7th with official launch shortly after the test. Good, maybe those bags will finally start pumping and this little guy will start doing something and let me get out in profit. ENA Athena Labs announced that users can use USDE as collateral on Bybit. Starting August 2nd, Bybit users can earn up to 20% interest annually by holding USDE or using it as collateral for trading. Injective Protocol has announced the Altaris mainnet upgrade is scheduled for this week. Jasmy, according to Miss Crypto Japan, Jasmy CEO has teased that Demo is ready for a marketplace offering GPUs in a decentralized manner. Konnichiwa. Jido Foundation announced the mainnet launch of the StateNet Steward program. List of Binance Launch Pool will support for DeFi BNB assets. Megadrop hodler airdrops will also support DeFi BNB assets soon. So something going on over Binance, doing some airdrops over there. Swarm Markets will burn 81.2 million, 34% of all SMT tokens on July 31st. The SEC has scheduled a closed-door Sunshine Act meeting August 1st for Ripple XRP. Ripple community speculates that it might discuss settling the Ripple lawsuit. Animoca Brands and Layer Zero Labs has announced strategic partnership positioning Layer Zero as a default interoperability solution for Animoca Brands ecosystem. And I feel like maybe we should catch up on yesterday's news or day before yesterday's news because that was kind of a big one. This is Layer GG over on Twitter X, and I think he's a great source for the news. But it was talking about the outflows and all this. Talking about Grayscale's outflow sale. And this was the biggest thing I wanted to cover. The U.S. government transferred $2 billion in Bitcoin linked to Silk Road. Highly likely that this is part of Coinbase's custodial contract. So I know that got the market all freaked out and happened to tank the market yesterday, but that was some things. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Maker CEO Rune announced that contributors will publish the in-game integration program this week. That's with MakerDAO. Drift Protocol will launch a U.S. election predictions market soon. And let's see, Comp has been doing pretty well. That might be one to actually look at. Comp, it appears that Humpy and Compound have reached a truce. Humpy will cancel the proposal and return Compound will share fees earned with Comp holders. I'm not really sure what that is all about, but I did notice some things changing in Comp, and Comp, you know, it's been a good performer. She's at $52 and she was at $46, so that was a nice little come up. If anybody caught these lower areas, that would have been about a nice 13% come up there. Looking at Comp on a bigger time frame, we're still in bottom territory. By my analysis, I mean, getting above this $50 area is good, and we've just done it. We just cleared an accumulation zone or retested that zone. It looks like it's bouncing off of that. So I think this is a good time to buy Comp if that's one of your plays. I think, and you're wanting to get into it. I'm like, I would. Nibble as she's in these juicy bottoms, because when she gets up to $200, $300, $400, $500 like she's done in the past, you're going to be looking down at $50 saying, dang, that was a good price. She's got a 10x in her. She can just give her time to do it. That's what I got for Comp. It's too early for Road Dog. I believe that is correct. Oh, Striga's got a contract address. Let's see what that is. Cheers. There we go. Let's check it out. 12 days ago, 10 days ago, 62,000 liquidity. Let's see what it looks like. This is on the 1 minute. Let's zoom out. Oh, nice. That looks good. Okay, so how I would interpret this is kind of like a scallop. See that rounding shape? Rounding top kind of thing, a scallop. And they do things like this. they do that thing. They'll come down halfway and then shoot off. That looks a little early to me to happen, so it may not be the full extent of it. So you might get some more stuff like this and then a big move up like that. Just throwing that idea out there. Her downside may not be over yet, but the shape is making it looks pretty good. Let's see what we got trend line wise. And ooh, okay, so she's having trouble breaking that trend line, so she got rejected off of it, wicked above it here on the 4 hour. So we got that. Now that might be the part of the, you know, the scallop thing, but coming down here, just cause it do see a little bit of a rounding there. Possibly looks for some good, for some more upside. Let's see what else we got here. We got this little guy. So these trend lines are being our resistance, and they just X'd us out right there. So it's unlikely that she's going to break up above that node, although not impossible. Let's come to the smaller time frame and see what it says. The smaller time frames look like we've done it, so I would watch the 4 hour and the smaller time frames. Just make sure it clears on the 4 hour. Oh crap, we didn't ever change back to where we were. We're still in the news range. Well, that's not cool. Lisa, I think you can see the chart there when I was going over them, hopefully. Another dumb mistake. I like this on the 1 hour, so we can hold this area. Yeah, maybe. So what I was saying, I would watch the 4 hour because it's not cleared it. It's not cleared it on the 4 hour, but it could. And if it does, we open a candle, a 4 hour candle above that. Yeah. But if you watch it on the 1 minute, it gives you hope and a little bit, to see if we can actually pull that off. And 1 minute suggests, hey, yeah, maybe we'll do that. That looks like this could be a bear trap and more upside. So that's promising. I like that. I would just make your decisions on the 4 hours as to whether to get out or not. All right, guys, that is all I got for this morning. I'm not trying to make this into a big old long stream. Just a quick in and out, and mostly just looking at Bitcoin and a few choice altcoins there. We'll take one more last look at Bitcoin here. She's 66.3. How you doing, Bitcoin? How you doing over here? Let's see what you're doing. Now, I'm on the very 1 minute because I know that is very popular at this time, and currently it looks pretty cool in the 1 minute above the 9, so I can't complain about it. Again, what I do different from what you might see on YouTube is that I use a trend line to help me decide when the hell to get in and get out of a trade. So breaking this trend line would be me getting out. Not breaking this trend line means, dude, let this sucker ride. Don't take your profits too early and say woulda, coulda, shoulda. Let her ride. And that's just how I play this little game. When we come down and look at the 15 minute, remember, we're facing some serious rejection there on that 200. But it looks like she wants to try to pull a fast one on us. The best places, I think, looking at the 4 hour, looking at this idea, this is what we've been talking about the last couple of days and last night, is respecting this trend line. She's got a good chance to get a bounce here. I'm looking for 67,300, 67,400. Maybe a pull back and bounce and try to carry on from there. Right now, she's still got she's flirting with my trend line right here. I'm getting a little I got a little bit of wiggle room here, but not a whole lot. And the 4 hour, man, she's playing with my emotions here. There is a little bit of bullish sentiment here. Remember, we did have a breakout of a channel. We got a retest. Seeing us come up 67.3, 67.4. I'm not seeing too much past that. I'm seeing some jankiness there. So maybe something like this is what I'm looking for. But we need to reclaim this guy for real. And I'm not convinced that we've solidly reclaimed it yet. So it should be an interesting morning, but I don't think it's going to be the end all be all morning. This is going to propel us to 70,000, but I do see a little bit more upside. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Trade carefully, trade wisely. Be back again tonight to see how we've done on the market. Good night, everybody. Or good day, rather.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to freaky, look